Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lauren Haven here at the Nail Haven. In today's video, we got a new summer design that I did. I know y'all see all those nails in the background. Now real quick, y'all know if you're new, you might not know, but I have a video where I show what I do for my base application for my press-on nails. I don't really explain it in every video anymore because it gets really repetitive. But anyway, y'all, today's video, like I said, we're going to be doing a cute summer design. I'm pretty sure you saw it in the thumbnail. And I know y'all see all those nails in the back. So look at this. Listen, I did this design on medium square, medium almond, long square, long stiletto, and long coffin. And in the video, I will be demonstrating this design on short duck, okay? Another quick disclaimer, I did work on the nails in different orders than what I recorded and how I'm editing them. So you might see a nail that's already finished that we didn't do in the video just yet. Just ignore that. Bear with me. But anyway, I'm going down and I'm putting my base colors down. So you're gonna put the nude will go on the thumb, index, ring, and pinky, and then you're gonna polish that middle finger, that orange shade, right? So after we cure and do all of our layers, we're going to go in with alcohol and we're going to wipe it off. The reason I'm wiping the nails down is because we're going to go in and buff the surface of the nail. This is my personal preference. I like to do this. You don't necessarily have to. I know some people either just go straight in and draw their French. Some people also go in with a layer of matte top coat or a layer of regular top coat before they do nail art. This is what I like to do. And sometimes my duck tips will become a little bulky on the sides after all of those layers. So if I know that I'm going in and the sides are going to be covered, I'll try to make sure to use my 180 grit file to remove some of that product. And this is only if I know that the sides are going to be covered up. Because if I accidentally remove too much product, it'll end up getting covered up with the French tip or whatever design I'm doing. So now I'm just going in, smoothing out whatever I just filed, because sometimes it can be a little rougher than the buffer. So yeah, dusting it off, and then we're going to take an alcohol wipe and once again wipe the micro dust off the nail so that when we go in and do our design, we're not, getting interrupted with dust. Okay, so first things first, we're going to draw our French tips on not all of the fingers, but all of the fingers outside of the middle finger will get a French tip. But for the thumb, index, and ring finger, we're going to do a white French tip. And I love doing French tip on duck tips. But what I have to remember when doing French tips is to make the French tip thicker than what I would normally want it. Because when I go in and file at the end, I'm removing quite a bit of product. So when I go in and make it like what I would want it, instead of making it a little bit thicker, I noticed that I'm removing too much of the French tip and it's like very thin, very thin. So I like to make sure that I make it a nice thick French tip so that when I file at the end, it looks perfect. So I'm gonna let y'all watch me do these little Frenchies, and if I feel like I need to come back and say something, I will. Child, I just want to get this video edited and posted, okay?
Outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby girl, you know me. Still with the dogs that I grew beside. All the niggas round me, hide they die. Gotta watch the time, cause it's flying right by. I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby girl, you know me. just caught a shorty off a Finsta. Just do on a really, it's a Crenshaw. Way that I've been living, nothing conventional. I'm just trying to make it.
Okay, so the first finger that we're going to be working on is that pinky finger. So we're going to go in and do our French tip. I'm going to go in with like a sandy tan color, and I did mix like a drop of white and a drop of orange in it because this is a seashell design. So I'm going to go in and draw my French tip. You want to make this French tip layer thin. You don't need full coverage, and the reason being is because the way that we're going to do this design, you're adding more polish after you draw your French tip. So to make sure that it's not too thick, you want to go in, make that French tip layer as thin as possible. So don't add too much product. And if you do feel like it's a bit much, remove it and try to draw in and like make it thin. So I'm just going in, draw my French tip and perfecting it. And then I'm going to clean my brush off and pick up, I used two different colors. I used a orange and I used yellow. And I'm just going in and putting a little bit of that on my brush. And as y'all can see, I'm going in like this curved motion. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm gonna just go back and forth with that until I get to the design that I like. But this part of the design is really easy to do. The only issue would be, like I said, making sure that you don't add too much product because it will become very, very thick and it may not fully cure under the lamp. So once I get it to what I want, I'm going to base coat and top coat the nail because the rest of the design will be over the top coat. So if y'all see this little black gel pot, it is rhinestone glue mixed with top coat. It's not a specific product that I bought. I literally just mixed rhinestone glue and top coat and put it in this container, okay? So if y'all see that, that's what that is. So I went in and I filed the nail before I did the lines because filing the nail will help me make sure that I don't put the lines too low or too high. Because I'm gonna end up filing at the end anyway. So I do it at this step so that I can know where exactly to put my lines. So I like to use my 20mm brush, and I want to get a little bit of product on the brush, and you want to make sure that the product is actually at the tip of the brush to help create that droplet effect. I don't know what to call it, but you know how it's thicker at the bottom and then it goes skinny at the top. So that's how I do that. And then I'm flash curing in between each line so that it keeps its 3D shape and it doesn't flatten out or run into the line next to it. And I'm gonna do this, I did it one in the middle and two on each side. Alrighty, so now that we've done all of our lines, we're going to take some more of that gel and we're going to put it in the middle because we're about to add some of those gold pearls, some of the gold and pearlescent pearls. So I'm just putting my glue down right here, and I'm using this mixture because I've noticed that rhinestone glue is not non-wipe. It's not glossy after I use it. I always have to go over it with top coat because it either smudges or something just does not go right. So that's why I mix the two together, because that helps with the glossy look after. So I'm going in, I'm doing a big pearl one, and then I did two little gold ones. And if you get any like gel on the spot that you don't want it, take some acetone and a cleanup brush and just remove it. Real quick, real easy, real simple. So now, taking that same mixture, I'm going to go over top of them. And the reason I'm going to do this is because those gold ones are actually painted. They're not actual gold pearls, of course. And because they're painted, they sometimes will change color. So I go over them with this protective layer to make sure that they don't. So once we're done with that, we'll put it in the lamp and fully cure it under the big lamp. So now we're going to go in on the index finger and we're doing hibiscus flowers. Now I will say these used to be hard when I first was learning how to do them, but now that I've done them like 100 times doing this design on all of these nails, I've kind of gotten the hang of it. So as you can see, I use my dotting tool to do the dots, and I did 5 little petals, I guess. And then I'm going in with my liner brush and a yellow polish instead of the orange. I wanted the inside to look a little different, so I went in with my yellow polish and dragged the orange down, and then I'm just filling in the middle of the flower with that yellow instead of the orange to give it that little two-tone effect. And it really came out really, really pretty. And I'm glad that I did that. I think I saw somebody else do this design, but they did the blooming gel method instead of this one. But I think I kind of like this one better. So yeah, I did this twice, and I did a line going down on the one that I'm doing now, and then I added dots to it. So you'll see me do that in just a second. I didn't have enough orange petal, so I went in and thickened it up a little bit more. And then we're going to flash cure it so that if I mess up the second flower, I can go and wipe it off without worrying about having to wipe off the first flower. So once again, doing my little dots. So I do like to do each petal all together. I know some people will go in, draw the 5 main dots, and then go add the 2 extra dots under them. I find that this way that I do it is easier for me to make sure that my flower is even. So going in, doing my dots, and then I'm going to do the same method. Take the yellow, drag it down, and kind of create the petals. And yeah, I'll let y'all watch, and I'll call y'all back when I'm doing something new. Alright, so once we finish both flowers, we're going to put those under the big lamp and cure them for at least 60 seconds. Now we're going to go in and do our airbrush. Now, I am airbrushing all of the fingers that we have not done yet. So the thumb, the middle, and the ring finger are all getting airbrushed. I do the middle finger first because the airbrush is lighter. And then I darken the mixture with for the ring finger and the thumb. So I'm going in doing my aura. I'm a flash cure because I like to layer my airbrush, and then I'm gonna do a second layer, and then we're gonna put it under the full lamp for a full 60 seconds. Okay, make sure when you're flash curing that after you flash cure, you fully cure the nail. Flash curing is just to keep it in place and to flash cure. That's why it's not called a full cure lamp, it's called a flash cure. Okay, so then I'm gonna darken up that mixture. I have alcohol, I think they're called alcohol gels or inks that you can use. I don't know the exact name for them, but the ones that I recommend are the ones by Seashell, and they're in my Amazon storefront. So once I darken it up, I'm going to go in with my acetone. I'm going to do the airbrush, but because I don't want the airbrush on the nude part, I'm going to go in with my acetone and my cleanup brush and remove that. And then I'm going to darken it up because I was like, this is a little too light. It kind of looks yellow and not orange. So I did a second layer on top of it, as you can see me doing here. And I was like, yes, this just made it 10 times better. I said, yeah, I'm in love. So I'm just going in once again using my cleanup brush and some acetone. You want to wipe off some of that acetone because if not, it'll bleed and it'll mess up your airbrush. So I go in with a damp brush, not a wet brush. So you'll see me putting it in the acetone and then wiping it off and then going in and cleaning up the nail. So then once I do that, we're going to fully cure the nail, and we're going to do the thumb next. And the thumb doesn't get I did for the ring finger, I did it on the sides. The thumb, I'm kind of doing like an ombre look, like a sunset is what it gave for me. So I'm just going in, cleaning up the sides again, making sure that there's no airbrush on the nude part, and flash curing. And then I'm gonna darken that bottom part up because, like I said, I kind of want it to be like an ombre sunset effect. And then I'm gonna once again go back and clean it up. And once I clean it up, we're going to put it once again. I just said once again like 3 times. We're going to put it back under the big lamp to make sure that it fully cures and that we're not giving our clients any products that aren't fully cured, okay? So I think the next finger that we're going to be working on is the middle finger. We'll see in just a second, but here's what the nails look like so far. After that, after I fully cure all of the airbrush, I'm going to go in with a layer of base coat over it because I want to make sure that after I add any designs on top of it, I don't mess it up because sometimes the airbrush will wipe off if you wipe it off with like acetone or alcohol. So I go in and I base coat so that if I do mess up the designs after, I don't have to worry about redoing the airbrush. So the next finger that we're working on is the thumb. I'm going to take my rhinestone glue and I'm going to put it on the side of the nail where we're going to be adding the charms. So I'm adding a flower and 2 gold beads to the sides of this, and then we're going to flash cure and use that mixture that we used in the container, the rhinestone glue and top coat, and cover those up to make sure that we secure the charms and protect them from changing colors. And once we do that, I'm going to put it on the lamp fully cured and then top coat, because the designs after will go on top of the top coat and not under it. So yeah. Now, once I get done top coating, I actually should have went in and filed, but I didn't make the 3D lines long because I knew that I had to go in and file after. But I'm going in same method, taking a drop of that rhinestone glue and top coat mixture, making sure that most of it is at the tip, and then we're going to apply it and do our 3D lines. Okay, now for our next design, we're going on the ring finger, and we're going to start off with the orange, and we're going to do tiger print. Tiger print is really just squiggly lines. Like, it's not that hard. All you're doing is drawing squiggly lines on either side of the nail, okay? Don't make it harder than what it is, alrighty? So I'm going to do that, do my little squiggles, and put it under the lamp and apply base coat. And then we're going to go in with our rhinestone glue and apply our charms to it. We're going to do, I think I did 2 flowers. 2 flowers and then 2 of the little gold pearls on the nail. And flash cure, put the rhinestone glue mixture, flash cure, and top coat. That's pretty much it. The next finger we're going to be working on is, I think it's the last finger actually. We're going to be doing the middle finger, and we're going to apply $2 of glue on the top right and the bottom left, or however you see it. It doesn't really matter, but y'all see where I placed that glue. And we're going to take both the pearl and the gold rhinestones, and we're just going to do like a cluster of them. I did 2 at the top and then 3 at the bottom, I believe. And depending on how long or short they are, it will depend on how many I add. My longer ones get a bit like, they get like 3 at the top and maybe 4 at the bottom. Shorter ones don't get that much because there's a shorter amount of space, a smaller amount of space. So yeah, just add those. Once I get those down, flash cure them into place, and then we're going to put our mixture on top of that, flash cure that, and then top coat. Now that everything is done, has been top coated and everything, here's the finished look. We're going to go ahead and start prepping these nails to get packed up, filing, etching, all of that good jazz, okay? So first things first, I'm going to go in with my 80 grit file, and I'm going to file the nails at an angle because I want to moon cut. So if I wanted a straight cut, I would file it at a 90-degree angle. But because I want a moon cut, I guess, what would this be, a 40-degree angle? I wasn't all that good at math. The only math that I'm good at is counting money. But anyway, I'm just going in, filing it at an angle, as you can kind of see me doing here, to create that moon cut shape. And then we're going to take my E-file, and we're going to kind of define the moon cut a little bit more. I really feel like it just enhances the duck and the moon cut better when I do this, so that's why. But yeah, not really much to it, to be honest. I do this in pretty much all my videos, so if you're not new here, you should be used to this part. You should already know what I'm finna do next as far as etching and all of that. But I'll still talk y'all through it if y'all want me to. You know, I don't mind. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm just going in with my sanding band and just removing some of that product up under it and rounding it out a bit, making sure that it's nice and even. It does make the tip thin. It does not make the nail thin. So even though the tip does look thin, the nails are still strong and are still thick, okay? So yeah, I'm gonna just do that, and then, well, I'll call you back when I'm doing something else.
Right now I'm just stuck inside the crib on my own. Soon as I free up, I'm about to pop up on your phone. Like I'm outside in an AMG, right outside. PT, two-turn, baby girl, you know me. Who am I? All the niggas round me, ride and die. Gotta watch your time, cause it's flying right by. Two-turn, baby girl, you know me. I'm outside in it. Right outside. PT. Two-turn, baby girl, you know me.
Okay, so now we're going to go in and we're going to etch the insides of the nails with our sanding band. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I do this. I think it's like 3 different reasons. I'll explain them all. So the first reason is sometimes when you add all of that product on top of them nails, it can cause the nails to shrink, or in other words, kind of tighten up. And I'm not sure if there's any ways to prevent this from happening, but I know one way to help is to go in and etch the insides of the nails and open up the nails. So making sure that you know, get those side walls and open up that cuticle area. The second reason is in case product, you know, slides under the nail, accidentally gets up under the nail, I go in with my e-file and remove that. Sometimes the builder gel will get up under there when I'm doing my builder gel layer. Sometimes, you know, polish can get up under there, so I just go in with my e-file, remove any of that. And the third reason is I want to etch the insides of the nails to give the insides of them texture. My motto is if it's slick, it won't stick. So when I etch them, I'm giving the glue something to stick onto when it attaches to the nail. The same way you buff your natural nails is the same reason I'm going in with my e-file. It does the exact same thing, so it's actually going to give it a better hold. So yeah, I'm just going to go in, do that to all of the nails, and once again, you know, just open them up, making sure that they're not too tight for my clients, getting those sides as you see me doing here, and etching the insides. So this next step is to smooth out the sides of the nails. Once again, in case product gets up under those nails, you want to make sure that everything is smooth and there's no ridges, no bumps, no anything on the nails, okay? So I'm going in with my 180 grit file and I'm making sure to smooth out the sides. Now I'm just going to dust off all of that dust because it gets real dusty, okay? If you got a dust collector, use it. I got one, I just don't use it. I'm hard-headed, okay? So yeah, I'm just going in, dusting everything off with my dust brush and getting everything nice and free of dust. Now we're going to take a Q-tip with acetone and we're going to use that to kind of clean the insides of the nail. When you go in and sand, it does create this ashy look or this dry look. So I just go in and use my acetone to get rid of that. I also go in after, wipe them down with alcohol to clean them. So that's what I'm doing here. I use a quick Q-tip because it's just easier to get in those smaller nails and just make sure I don't miss any cracks or anything. So that's what I'm doing here. Once we do that, we're going to grab our nail card and our double-sided tape. People always ask me on TikTok Live, what do you use to do this? What do you use to do that? Y'all, I use this double-sided tape for almost everything, okay? Listen, it works wonders. So I'm just taping it down to my card and removing it and getting the nails that's going to go onto the card in order. And yeah, then we're going to place them on the cards and then we're done. This design was so pretty, y'all. It took me 3 days I need to figure out how many nails it was. I'll probably put it in the description box on how many nails I did. But it took me 3 days to do all of these nails. And I just want to say I'm real proud of myself because it was over 100 nails, y'all. And they came out so beautiful, so cute. And they are available on my website. And you can find them if you type in Lene. They will be available for custom and ready to ship depending on when you're seeing this video. But I'll make sure to also link it in the description box for y'all. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll make sure to show y'all all of the sets that I did at the end so that y'all can get a look of what the design would look like on different shapes and different lengths. Like I said, we did the demonstration on short duck, but I did also do other designs. So here's the short duck. Then we have a long coffin, long stiletto, medium almond, as well as long square. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Go check out my other videos. Comment down below any videos y'all want to see me do, and I'll try to get those out to y'all. Our next videos will be fall and Halloween themed. Just want to give y'all a heads up. Once again, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.